Good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon. So, as you know, today is going to be sixth class for our Anthropology 300 plus course, and in today's lecture, we are going to take up with the anthropological theories. Okay. So, this class is going to be interactive class. So, if you have any doubt, so do not hesitate at all. Also, in the online, all the students they you should be in a very comfortable position. If you have any sort of doubt, you can ask directly. Haji, good afternoon. So, now, first of all, I just want to ask you if you have any certain doubt or any queries or anything like any sort of thing regarding the anthropological theory that you want to share. Accordingly, we will plan our lecture. If you, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll try to find out. First, we will analyze. Okay, so first we will analyze the PYQs accordingly. Then we are going to define that how the trend of the PYQ that is going to be replicated in our lecture. Okay, so in today's class, I'm not going to take up all the theories. In today's class, I'm just want to provide you the demonstration. That's why we are having this interactive class so that you will get the idea. Why? Because if you will see most of the teachers basically they are taking up the anthropological option, they are first starting with the anthropological theories only, and then they used to spend at least for 1 month just to define these theories. But what I feel is, first, when you have prepared your base regarding the culture, kinship, when you know everything, then you can relate with this unit, and then you can add on as many example and case studies. So in this class, I will only take up the first theory just for the demonstration. But again, we are going to have one interactive class tomorrow as well, so that you will get the basic idea. Like in today's class, the way we had learned, how we are going to replicate for the other theories. Okay, so this is the basic plan. Fine. Okay. Haji, Varun is saying that answer writing inertia. Okay, so in this way only, like the way how I had designed it, first in today's class we are going to analyze the PYQs. You are going to give your own views regarding the PYQs, how we are going to relate them, and then we will go forward. Okay. Yes, Anjana, there is a number available in the description box. You can text there. Okay. Now, look, whenever you are thinking about the mains and whenever you are thinking about your optional, so the most important thing you need to learn is about the answer writing. So it's not all about very good notes, it's not all about the presentation. Everything that you have should be reflected in your answers. Fine. So for the very first thing, that I want to provide you is in terms of, just wait for a while. Today this technology also want to demonstrate us that we are in the primitive society. Everything that is in the dark, not visible, just wait for a while. Like today I just want to give you the demonstration that we had advance in terms of technology, and today technology is teaching us. भैया we are not able to open the PPTs. एक बार देख लो आप. Only the जो first page था वही visible था. Okay, okay. And just wait for a while. And good afternoon. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can ask for. Like Varuni said that he had one answer writing inertia, so I'm going to definitely going to solve that doubt, and I'm going to provide you some basic guidelines how you can make it better. Meanwhile, we are working on the technology part as well. I had shared next file as well. Okay, so Kumar, you can text me through the Telegram or through the WhatsApp. Number is available in the description box. Okay, fine. So, what we are basically saying is that today in today's class, we are going to relate with the syllabus and the PYQs, and we'll try to understand how we need to proceed. Okay, so here as you can see that we are having anthropological theories, unit 6. So, on an average, we have 10 theories. These are numbered like this 5 and then 10. Here, in today's class, we are going to take up this classical evolutionism, Taylor, Morgan, and Fraser. Fine. So, for the anthropological theory, what we need to understand, we need to relate the complete syllabus of sociocultural anthropology with the first unit, that is the classical evolutionism. So, first we will try to understand and we'll try to decode the PYQs, and once we are done with that, we'll try to replicate that knowledge in our own way, own concept, and then in the answer writing. So, this is the basic thing related to the today's class. In today's class, it's only based upon the demonstration. So I'm not taking up the practice question. I'm not showing you the toppers answer copies in today's class. But we'll definitely do that in the next class. Here, just try to understand the basic linkage. Fine. So classical evolutionism, Taylor, Morgan, and Fraser. Fine. After that also there is some sort of transition in the sense that first we just want to understand how the human being they evolved. Once we are done with that, we just want to understand how they were particular regarding something, and then how they were functioning, how the structure for that function is happening, and after that we just want to understand how their personality is evolving. It means there is some sort of transition. This transition, it could be understood based upon the timing. Like we can say that classical evolutionism is something that is being there in the primitive societies, but when we studied about this evolutionism during the 19th centuries, when these evolutionist anthropologists they started evolving about the primitive societies. Fine. Now let's try to understand. So first we will analyze the PYQs. Now let me tell you, unit 6 being divided by 10 part by me. Then in today's lecture we are taking up only the first part. So all the PYQs from the first part only they are here. Fine. So I had divided in this way only. Once we are being done with this, so I'm going to share one PYQ analysis booklet as well, that is going to be in PDF format. in which I had divided topic wise. Like for example, you are taking up the unit 2.3 types of family. So how many questions being asked by the UPSC on types of family only? Likewise on laws of marriage only. So in that way, like for example, ethnocentrism, like social group, social institution. So as I had divided the topics in this way only, I had divided the questions as well. Fine. In this way, first we are taking up classical evolutionism. Okay. Now, first question being asked in 2021. First, try to understand. Here, I had included the question from 1985 till 2021. First, we are going to see the question that's being asked from 1985 till 2002. Here, try to understand the language, and this is very important aspect whenever you are studying about it. They just asking you very direct, simple, very short question. Contribution of Morgan and Taylor in the history and linguistics. Means somehow they want you to explain about the communication aspect, like the language, culture, communication in the context of Morgan and Taylor. So for that, again, I just want to say that for the batch of 300 plus, first I will be sharing, like once we are done with the socio-culture, one PYQ booklet for socio-culture part, topic wise PYQs. Another thing I would be sharing, some one pager of Anthropologist, like Taylor, what he said in the unit 2.1, in 2.2, in 2.3, in 2.4, in 2.5, in the unit 7, in the unit 8, so that you would be having everything at one place and you can remember it. Somehow, quite possible you are referring it or not, but there is in your subconscious mind that this is something Taylor said, even if you don't know exactly, but you can refer. So why? Because anthropologist for socioculture part, it's very important. Okay. Now it means they are asking you just to explain about their contribution. So it's a very straightforward question. What you can do, you can just explain with the Taylor and Morgan in the introduction. Then you can basically explain about the meaning. Fine. After it, you can just make the heading contribution and then can define it. Now, 19th century evolutionism, 1988. Again, they are asking you just to explain about the, like it's an open ended question. You can explain about the evolutionism. So what are the things should be there in evolutionism that we are going to define? Fine. Next, evolution is biological and sociocultural, discuss 1990. This is something that we can expect, like I need to provide it different color so that it would be highlighted. Let me tell you, in 1990, one of the question was indirect. Now, UPSC is asking only the questions which are having the direct relation but the indirect meaning. This is what you need to understand. Means somehow in the 1990, the question was short, but it is asking you evolution is biological and socioculture. Like I'm not going to judge you, or I'm not going to here to check your information or your knowledge, but I am literally just want to know that if this is something in front of you, what can you write under this? Also in the online, kindly tell me. Okay. Morgan. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Civilization. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Now we'll try to understand when they are talking about evolution. So evolution is a somehow unilinear, but somehow there are some various stages. Okay. So we'll try to understand how we can replicate this. Okay. Why PYQ analysis is important for those who are aspiring to write mains or who are preparing to write mains, because through this we will get to know what we need to study. I mean, I just want to show you, this is in terms of index you will get once you have analyzed these PYQs. Okay, now in the 1993 they had asked, how do the approaches of the 19th century evolutionists it differ from those of the new evolutionists? So this question asking us just to compare between what, compare between this sixth theory with this first theory. This is what they're asking. Okay, it means it's not only adequate to study these theories but to also have one framework for comparison. Okay, so in terms of thing that we got, that we need to study indirect application of theories. This is the one thing that we got from the PYQs. Next, second thing that we need to have comparison base for theories. Like, first we will study historical particularism, functionalism, but other than this we are also going to have one comparative picture, so that if they are asking any sort of question we can deal with. Next, classical evolutionism, open ended question, you can write about the basic things you know. Then universal culture evolution, that how culture evolved, for that we need to provide a universal fact. Okay, so I will be providing content for that as well. Now in 2010 they are asking a very big statement, somehow trying to link so many things. It means we can see that from this page, from 1985 to 2002, there is a change, first in the trend, second in the language, and the way they are asking. Okay, so they are asking in the 2010, point out the differences in the concept of classical evolutionism. Okay, here we need to explain about the concept, means we can explain about the basic premises, we can explain about the basic approaches and these and that. And they are asking us to compare with the neo evolutionism. Then they are specifying which stage of prehistoric culture is known as the cultural evolution. So it means then they are expecting that we are going to club the archaeological part, unit 1.8, with the unit 6 first part. Okay, it means that if we are studying about this only, it is not sufficient. What is more important is the linkage, and linkage with the time period, linkage with the contribution of the anthropologist. Okay, now next question in the 2015, how do diffusionism and evolutionism differ as explanation of culture change? Means the trend that we had analyzed from the year 1993, and if we had studied from this way only, we can deal with this question in 2015. That's why PYQs are important to analyze, so that the way that you will derive and if you will apply, you can deal. Okay, next. How did Morgan explain the evolution of marriage, family, social political organization, and how did other evolutionists disagree with his explanation? So, here, one thing that we had analyzed is whatever we are doing in terms of any theory, we need to have strong views for criticism. So, this is the third thing that we had derived from the analysis of the PYQs. Next, critically evaluate Levi's Morgan classification of family. In 2021, they had asked a very short 15 marker question. But if we have some strong base for criticism only, then we can answer this question. Otherwise, it is going to be so plain, like you are just explaining about the types of family. Fine. It means you have analyzed. Okay, sure, Anjana. We'll do the same. So, from this way, we had analyzed that if you are doing the theories, first you need to have the like exact point, so that you can explain about indirect application of theory. If you have the content, well and good. If not, then you are going to incorporate in your short notes. Next, need to have comparison base for the theories. Comparison base means first we will study about evolutionism, then we'll study about all this theory like classical evolutionism, neo evolutionism, postmodernism. Once we are done with that, then we'll have a comparative picture for all these theories. Means we need to have one page for the comparison, so that we are having some 8 to 9 points in the back of our mind. Next, strong views for the criticism. So for each and every theory, we need to have criticism. Why? Because this may be asked. It means what? It means if you have completed your foundation from elsewhere, if you have your notes with you, still you need to transform these notes in the perspective of mains and in the answer writing format. It means what you need to do based upon this, you need to analyze these way for indexes. For each and every unit, I am asking you to do the same. This is only for the part 1, that is the classical evolutionism. It means when I am doing the classical evolutionism, my focus should be first upon the evolution, second upon the unilinear evolution, and third upon the anthropologist. If I'm talking about evolution, what are the points that should be there? I need to have 2 to 3 line, 5 to 6 points for each and every part, so that I will be having clarity on my mind, and I'm going to prepare it in key points only. Why? Because we all are in a position that if we know the key point, we can frame the sentence. Fine. Okay. So for that, first we are going to talk about the origin. Then let's taking up the evolutionism. For that, we need to have a basic premises. Basic premises, which is going to provide you a basic summary, so that you can explain about the evolutionist and their viewpoint. Then what are the basic approaches that they took when they were studying about the evolutionism? Just tell me, evolutionism is talking about the primitive societies. They are not talking about any anthropologist or something. Anthropologists later on, when they started evolving, they found that these types of communities, they are better to understand how the people in the primitive time they used to be there, what kind of societies they have, what kind of social arrangement they had. So based upon all these things, we are having some data in front of us, but we need to understand what kind of assumptions they took. Like for example, uh, like let us suppose we are conducting the census. Okay, this question is also for online student. Let us suppose we are conducting the census, and you have to conduct it. I mean, you are the one who's going to prepare the strategy, how it's going to be. Is it going to be on site, off site, in what ways? Just tell me, jot down, like take 30 second, think, and then tell me what are the basic things you feel that should be there when we are having the census. It's also for the online students, so you need to answer, think upon and answer. Why? Because in future you may also get these types of opportunities, because you are going to be the IAS officer. Okay, income in what way? Done. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Quite possible you misunderstood the question. I was talking about the practical part. I mean, you are the one who's conducting. So you must be giving the direction to the other one who have to collect the data. So what are the kind of assumptions you will have in your mind, so that the collection of the data would be simplified. Do you remember teachers, school teachers, they used to be part of the one who would collect the data, and one of the organization they used to train them how to collect the data? In this way I'm asking. uh, okay, you all misunderstood the question. Okay, now try to understand. My basic assumption is this: in, like, if I'm conducting the census, what are the kind of thing that I will do? First, I will notify the area, state, then district, then in the district, small town, panchayat and all. I need to be have a complete data of the voters in one area. Based upon this, I will get the idea that this area must be having the population of, let us suppose, 5 lakh. Now I have to first prepare the questionnaire just to get the name and the basic details. So the questionnaire should be having a proper format. Format means, do they have fridge in their home? Do they have AC? Based upon the need, our questions are going to be in this way only. Fine. Do they have toilet in their home? So these are the things that I would be specifying. Now, let us suppose I am calculating the data in Delhi. Delhi is the place of migrators. Mumbai is the place of migrators. So here, all those people from Bihar, from the eastern UP, they are having their registered ration card, their registered Aadhaar card, but it is not registered here. If I will count them here as well, and also count them as per their ration card in Bihar as well, it's going to be duplication of effort. So I will assume some in terms of assumption. Assumption is this, that quite possible in Delhi, if any of the person who is having their ration card registered here only, I will count them, but I won't count any person who's not having ration card. Let us suppose if there is any family who's not having ration card at all. You would wonder that, is it possible? I would say yes. Why? During the lockdown, when it was the COVID-19 time period, even we had the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, still many of the people, they were not having the bank account. And many of the people, they don't even have the Aadhaar card. So I need to have some assumptions, they are here to save you, to protect you from any sort of shortcomings. So I will assume all those person who have ration card, only they need to be counted. So this is my one assumption. Second assumption, let us suppose if I am considering any person based upon their ration card, then the kind of thing they are telling me, that is something in terms of truth. Like if I would ask them, do you have toilet? Even if they have, they would say no. I would ask, do you have AC? Do you use AC? So they would say no. Recently, there, let me tell you, in Delhi, recently there is one thing that is on work, that is like encroachment बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है यहाँ पर. So for that, government is having cleaning, उनका अपना program चल रहा है. So in that way, there are some very challenging as well as very shocking incidents they came upon. One of the incident is, there are so many slum areas. All the people on the earth, they have the complete right to live a life with dignity. The people who are living in the slum area, we assume that these people, they are not living in a good way. But now there are so many videos surfacing over the internet where they found that these slum areas people, one side they are saying that they do not have access to the electricity, they are not paying any electricity bill, but still they are doing the, like they are somehow वो पूरा बिजली का चोरी कर रहे हैं. They have AC, and like there was one video like being shared by one of the official from like कुछ ऊंचे से एरिया से उन्होंने उसको शो किया. He had showed that the people, they were having AC, and AC का जो बाहर वेंटिलेशन का होता है, तो उसके ऊपर बुशीज डाल के कुछ मिट्टी कुछ लाइक उसको मतलब ऐसे ढका हुआ है कि उसका फैन चलता रहेगा बट वो ऊपर से दिखाई नहीं देगा. when they started, like when officials started कि उन्होंने वहां पर सफाई करना और उस एरिया का देखना, सुपरविजन स्टार्ट किया, then they found that if these people they have ACs, it means they were using the electricity, and somehow these people they are plus or minus, we can say pros and cons, they are like we can say कि power का और अपनी condition का they are taking the wrong benefit. It means we need to assume something. In that way only, they have also taken up some approaches. These approaches, they are not the right one, but they had taken just to simplify their process. Simplification is necessity whenever you are doing any sort of field work. Okay? Now, next is comparative method. Comparative method, it is not in terms of comparison. First, we would be studying about all those all those types of theories. After that, we will be having a comparative picture, and then last, use of the data. What kind of data we are using? Primary data, secondary data. Primary data means you are going to the field, collecting the data as a first timer. Secondary data is available either in the recorded format or in the printed format or anything, and you are relying upon that. So it's based upon this way. It means first we would be taking up these points. Then unilinear evolutionism is important to study because we are talking about one unilinear evolution. So for that we would be studying about evolutionism, unilinear, then theory, and then we'll have one critical analysis, which is the most important one. Fine. So this is what we have understood from where? From the PYQ analysis. Now we are having the anthropologists. So we would be focusing upon anthropologists LH Morgan, EB Taylor, and James Fraser. Fine. Here, do not think that I am going to teach you from the scratch. Why? Because you have already taken the foundation and I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to take up only the way that how, for answer writing perspective, it's going to be better. Fine. Now let me give you a basic introduction. Whenever there is any question for evolutionism, so this is the basic in terms of introduction you can provide. Fine. So this is saying that evolution means what? Evolution is a gradual process. Gradual means what? As I told you that there is some sort of transition. We transitioned from the evolution to historical particularism, then we started functioning. So this is how we are facing up the transition. Now there are some basic things that created the foundation for this transition. Like we changed our society. The nature was for the society, it was simple. Simple means like compare the life of the rural people with the urban. Now in the rural people, in the rural area, people they have a full fledged straight away life. Like they are going to wake up 4 p.m, either they are having meeting or not, either they have to go somewhere or not, still they are going to wake up at 4 a.m. Once they have wake up at 4 a.m, they have a certain thing that they again need to take a nap in the afternoon, and their afternoon it got started from 12 p.m. Then they are having full-fledged things related to their life, that they have source of income, agriculture, farming. Other than this they may have some other source of income, but still they have a certain life. But in the urban area, people they have different job. They have, like for example, the UPSC aspirants, they are somehow na ghar ke na ghat ke. I mean, they cannot prepare their schedule in the sense that somehow they need to wake up at 4 a.m. Somehow they are sleeping at 12 p.m. Somehow they are sleeping at 4 a.m. They are waking up at 12 p.m. So that's how you can understand that there is no such lifestyle they have. Exactly. And I am saying the truth with the experience, even. And you will agree with that as well, for sure. Also, in the online as well, all the student you would be agreeing. Now, we need to understand that this idea of evolution, it's talking about this way only. When we started changing from simple to complex. Now, your life must be simple if you are not having the dream of UPSC. But you started creating it, making complicated and complex, because here in this transition, you have one dream. In this way only, all the societies who aspire to become modern, who aspire to have more and more resources, they started creating their evolution from simple to complex. It means you can understand that evolution, if anyone is asking any basic premises for evolution from you, that it is the need. Need is the only thing which started creating transition. Now, this transition is from homogeneous to heterogeneous. This transition is from undifferentiated to differentiated. And that's how you can frame this simple diagram. And this diagram should be like, there are basic rules, what I had told you, and these basic rules should be in your mind. Whenever you are writing answer, let us suppose for a 15 marker question, so you are going to have 3 pages. If you are creating a big diagram, it should be there, like I had already shared in the previous lectures. If you are having a short diagram which is related to the nature, so it should be here. Okay, now there are so many students, and this is what I had also noticed after their answers. Once they had written their answer, some of the students, they used to forget about making or framing any diagram. Then what they used to do, as soon as they will they will encounter this thing that they hadn't prepared any sort of diagram, they create one diagram here somehow, like, because they feel like it's better to frame the diagram. But kindly do not do this thing. Whenever you are writing answer, this thing should be in your mind, that I need to frame the diagram. If you have, then frame it on the second page only. If you don't, then you can leave it as well. But you are not going to have such kind of situation where your mind should be in a conditioned situation that I have to frame, and either on the first page, this lower region, or it should be in the second page. Fine. Okay, now let's move forward. So this could be used in terms of the introduction for evolutionism. Now let's try to understand, and let's try to like, the questions from this part is going to be application based. So for that, you need to focus upon as many example as you can. Now let's try to understand. If I am saying that we have changed from the simple society to the complex society, so for that what you need to show in terms of example, you can mention. And okay, now you don't need to write anything, you don't need to have running note. I'm going to share this ppt. What you need to do, when you are going to prepare your short notes, you just need to incorporate these examples. Okay, example is, we have changed from homo habilis to the homo sapiens. Means, this is how we are saying that they were having a simple life with less resources. But as soon as we started facing some sort of transition, we can see that from the homo habilis, here you can see there are so many here, they are having the bipedalism, but they seems to be more like human. They seems to be more the person who was using their brain. Here you can see the brain size is small, but as soon as you started using more and more your brain, the brain size, it started getting enlarged based upon the Darwin theory. So the Darwin theory, it also talked about the evolutionism only. So this is what I would be explaining about the biological part. Now, taking up the cultural part. So this is somehow specifying about the cultural part. This is basically the example of the Kalahari Desert. This Kalahari Desert, they have one community by the name Kungsan. So these Kungsan, this is the picture of today's life. You would be wondering that in the Kalahari Desert, these people, they are still dependent upon their traditional tools. They are using their traditional tool. They are dependent upon hunting and gathering, as you can understand that is jungle mein aur milta bhi kya hoga. They are living in a hut like areas. It means, from simple life, there is cultural changes in terms of civilization. All the societies, they are not changing themselves. We would be specifying these people as savage, and will specify these people as civilized. Now, till now these people, they are living the savage life, so we can take up this example of these people as the savage one, but the one who had transitioned themselves, they had evolved from this to this, means from simple to complex. Here you would say, ma'am, it seems to be more complex life because you don't know next time food milega ki nahi milega. But here you would understand that civilization is somehow having complexities in terms of so many things. Like this Indus Valley civilization, they are having rectangular pattern. They are having the pattern for their life that is well established. They were having the drainage system. They were having a pattern in terms of living, like they have a citadel, they have a lower town. So from this way you can understand that there is some sort of cultural change. Now also these Kungsen people, they started like now they still, some of the people like the tribal people, they are living this life, but some people they had taken up the establishment in terms of civilization. Okay, now see this question, 1990, but it's asking evolution is biological and sociocultural. I have to explain about the nature of the evolution. First I will specify the intro, then for biological I have to give the example of how biologically we face the transition. So here we will have linkage with unit 1.6 of paper 1. Here I have to describe in the biological part how evolutionism it has transition, that how we changes from here to here. Hope you can understand. It means somehow unit 6 is linking all other units with itself. Now cultural change. Here we have to specify some of the culture. I can also specify some tribes. We'll be giving the example for that as well. But the biological is about the technical part. Cultural is all about the examples. Hope you can understand. And I hope this is how you can understand. This is the pattern that you can work accordingly. Okay, fine. Now, next part is about from homogeneity to heterogeneity. From homogeneity to heterogeneity, we need to understand that in the earlier time period, we were having some egalitarian tribal societies. Egalitarian tribal societies, they were not having any class. They were having uniform roles. Whereas in the modern societies, like for example India, we are showing heterogeneity. Heterogeneity in terms of class, in terms of caste, in terms of profession, in terms of specialization. Like, let me give you the basic example. There are so many tribes in the Pacific island, like Samoa of Tahiti's, we have Djibouti. So, in the Djibouti itself, we are having some sort of tribes who are living a classless societies. Means all the tribal people, they are going to share all these resources, and their resources they are being specified in a uniform format. Hope you can understand. Now, here another example that we can take is in the earliest time period. As I told you, this unit is all about the linkage. So here again, we are going to link the prehistoric time period. Like for example, in the Kenya, we are having some areas like we have Oldowan. So in the Oldowan, the people they were using this type of tools. These tools they are having they are based upon the stone, and they are based upon their earliest way how they used to do the hunting. Now it changes to these tools. Now this is only one of the example. Here I just want to give you the example of India's defense system as well, but I thought that tool would be in a great comparative picture. But you can write like from the homogeneity, all types of societies they were having these types of thing, which changes to the heterogeneity. Heterogeneity it means as per the need you are having different types of resources and different types of work and theme. Hope you can understand. Okay, now next part, in terms of the changes we have undifferentiated to differentiated. Means There are some early human societies. These human societies, they use magic, they use animism. For what? To explain the natural phenomena, which is uncertainty. Uncertainty related to the life, uncertainty related to the logic. Let us suppose if I ask you, have you noticed, or if you had encountered in your life, uh, uh, there are some instances in the villages where the people, if there is scarcity of the water, if there is no rainfall, they are using some traditional method for the rainfall. What could be those? ओके, आवाजें निकालना। हम्म। Okay, okay, very good. Means in India, rainfall, like especially in the Hindus, rainfall is associated with one specific god, like that is the Indra god, and we used to please them so that हम rainfall हो जाए. And pleasing का एक way क्या है? यजना. Okay, so this is one of the way. Other than this, we have another ways as well. Like for example, in some of the communities, they are going to arrange the marriage of frogs. So they will have one male frog, they will have one female frog, and they will arrange the marriage of the frogs. Fine. Other than this, in some of the villages, they will have the marriage of some male doll and the female doll. So that's what they used to have. This is what we can say, that they are undifferentiated, uncertain about some particular part. Now, if I have to ask you, if rainfall is not there and we require it, what are the kind of method we can use? Yeah, in today's time period. We used to specify cloud seeding. So, with the help of the cloud seeding, we used to provide the dust nucleus so that all those particles, they are going to heavy, they are going to heavy to the level of their saturation, and then they are going to lose their burden in terms of the rainfall. Fine. So in this way, now we have some sort of certainty. Okay. So we'll going to take up the example from this way only. Another way in terms of the certainty or an uncertainties is, I'm going to take up the example of some tribes. All the tribes, they have started at same level at one point of time. Fine. So all those tribes, what kind of life system they are having? So tribal people, they were having the life system of somehow like they are dependent upon the basic hunting and gathering. They are not having the tradition, like they were having the traditional knowledge but not having the modern knowledge. Their population is declining. They have pre-agriculture level of technology. In the same way, their life is somehow similar to the savage people, and we as a person creating some categories for the savage as well as in for the barbarism and for the civilization. Here take up the example. So food gathering was there in the Chenchus. So Chenchus, it is one of the tribe found in the Andhra Pradesh. So this tribe is out of those 12 PVTGs that are found in the Andhra Pradesh. So these Chenchus, this tribe, still they are having this life. So this is the recent picture. They are living in hut-like areas. They are not having the pakka houses, and they are having the traditional tools. Here you can see the spear. Here you can see the arrow and the bow. So they are using these way. Even in this picture, you can see they are wearing the clothes. They don't even wear the clothes. So that's how we can see that they are living uncertain life. But then, as per the modern society, just tell me, we have Forest Right Act. So, Forest Right Act, it is providing the basic provision that the tribal people, they have the right over the minor forest produce in terms of possession, but not in terms of ownership. Hope you are getting my point. Possession means they can use it. Ownership means they are the owner. They can do whatever they want to. But there is some sort of tussles between the forest officers and the tribal people, because forest officers are there as the official of government to protect the well-being of the forest area, but tribal people, they consider that they are the one who are the owner of this forest area, so they can do whatever they want to. Now, because of this scenario, this thing creating uncertainty for them or not, if they are dependent upon hunting only, would they be able to government is not allowing them to hunt. So that's how we can say that this is somehow creating some sort of challenge for them. Another thing here you can understand related to the Gonds. Gonds is being considered as one of the finest tribe as comparative to the Meena tribe. Just once check the UPSC final list and then check the Meenas. So they are the tribal people, but they are the most finest tribal people who are mixing up, integrating themselves in the concept of the society. Now, this Gond tribe, they had changed themselves from uncertainty to certainty. Like the kind of traditional knowledge they have, like let us suppose in basket making, you would say, ma'am, in India we are not using these types of basket because we are mostly using the Chinese product, that plastic basket or something. But let me tell you, if you have heard the term Etsy, Etsy is a site where Indians, they can register their product, who's going to place the order from the foreign countries. Fine, so they are selling their product directly over there. Another thing is the kind of pottery they are making. That's also one of their traditional way. The kind of body tattooing. Let me tell you, like later on, I'm going to show you some documentaries as well when we are going to start the tribal India. So there you can understand that body tattooing is being considered as one of the tradition, and now so many tattoo artists, they are taking part in these tribal tattooing classes so that they can get the authentic tribal art. So that's what you can understand. Another part is the floral painting. So from this way, you can understand the basic thing. I hope you are able to understand. Fine. So with all these examples, you got the basic idea that if there is any question asking you about the application of biological and cultural aspect of evolution, you have to explain all these things. Fine. Okay, so this is what we are done with. I just want to show you so that you will get the basic idea. Okay, now many of the students, they are saying that ma'am, we are not able to prepare the short notes. Quite possible, quite possible you may be facing some sort of difficulties. Now I just want to tell you the basic thing and the basic part. Like whenever you are preparing the short notes, it means first you have to prepare this index. How you will prepare the index? After the trend analysis, first, second, after your own notes, and then third, this 300 plus class. Okay, this is the basic way through which you will get the idea what things need to be covered. Once you have done with this index, all those students, they need to share their index to me through the WhatsApp, through the text. If there is anything missing here, I'm going to rectify you. After that, you will be preparing. How? In this way only. Let us suppose in origin, I told you this is the origin. After this origin, I told you this is how you can add on the examples. Example, they are the must. Why? Because if you are going to include the example in your short notes, only then you would remember them. Only then you would replicate them in your answer. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Fine. Now, let's move forward. Next part is related to the basic premises. Related to the basic premises. Now, basic premises is only going to tell us the basic parts. Here I had provided you these thing in terms of short form. Then I'm going to provide you the basic detail as well. Here just got the idea how you need to include in your short notes basic premise. That will give you the basic idea related to this classical evolutionism. Now, classical evolutionism, it is showing that direction of evolution. Talking about the culture always evolve in a unilinear and a sequential manner. Hanji. So I just want to ask you if you have to specify how it is through going through the unilinear way, how it is going through the sequential manner, what could be the possible stages? What do you feel? if any society is emerging, what kind of stages we have. Okay, it means here you need to understand that there are only three stages, but at every single stage we have to give some of the examples. This is the only thing. Why? Because every single person writing the answer going to write the same points. How you can, like, let me tell you, all the answer copies of the UPSC, they are at the same level, and you cannot specify that this one is the ideal copy. So all the person, they are going to write बुरा आंसर, आपको बस कम बुरा लिखना है. This is what you need to do. Okay, so for that, how you can create it in terms of difference, if you are giving some additional good example, if you are, like, if you are mentioning the name of the anthropologist, if you are mentioning some of the basic details, only then you can have edge in terms of competition. Why? Because the funnel जो है वो बहुत छोटा है, and when you are investing your money, when you are investing your time, तो फॉर दैट आपको हर एक पॉसिबल थिंग करना चाहिए जिससे कि आप सक्सेस के पास जाओ, जिससे कि सम सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक पॉजिटिविटी और वो सब चीज़ें आपको मिले. वाई? बिकॉज ऑलरेडी देयर आर सो मेनी नेगेटिविटी इन एंड अराउंड all those people, even if they are in such a conditions like कि competition में, like there are so many person who are they are doing their work from the last 3 year 4 year, बार बार मेंस दे रहे हैं, नहीं हो पा रहा है. The only thing, the only difference is examiner found every single person is writing the same. And in terms of small small से pattern पे difference हो जाता है in terms of writing, नॉट स्पेसिफिकली बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर. तो वो कुछ डिफरेंसेस जो हैं वो हो जाते हैं, अदरवाइज नहीं. ओके, नाउ in terms of basic premise, what we are saying is, they said that it is unilinear and it is in a sequential manner. So here we must be giving the basic explanation of the book Ancient Society of the LH Morgan, where he specified that there are three stages. Fine. What are those three stages? Savagery, barbarism, civilization. Fine. So for this, what you need to do when you are writing the evolutionism and you are giving the basics related to the evolutionism, you need to add upon the diagram, and the diagram it should be full-fledged, good, specified, explaining about the evolution with the three basic stages. It should be in this way only. Okay, so let me frame the diagram for you so that you will get the basic idea how you need to add upon these stages and all other part. Okay, so what you need, like I'm going to specify two basic diagram. Earlier also in the unit 2.1 I had given the diagram to you when I was specifying about the civilization. So that diagram it is specifying so anthropology, it is being specified through the three stages. What are those? First, savagery, then barbarism, and then civilization. Each and every stage, they are having their own way of life, their own way of differences, and for that, you have to specify the basic points here. This is what you need to do. Like, for example, for savagery, during this stage, people, they were wild, they were cruel. Do they have family system? Do they have any uh, like they don't even have the family system, but they don't even have groupism. So there was no group, there was no like they were dependent upon the individualism. There was no god. What kind of relationship they were having? They were having incestuous relationship. Why? Because they don't have the family, therefore they do not have any bar in the sense, like two people, even if they are belonging to the same generation, but because they are not having any group, any family, so they may involve into the incestuous relationship. So incest. Okay. Then in the barbarism, what happened? Groupism, it started emerging. Then they started gathering food. Okay. Then in the barbarism, they started having family. Then what happened during the civilization? We have culture. In case of civilization, we have technology, we have agriculture, we have domestication of animal, we have technology. So these are the kind of thing that we started emerging. So from this perspective, you can understand that anthropology, it is all about these stages. Anthropology is all about these types of things, because in the anthropology we are trying to understand evolutionism. Now you can frame this diagram for unit 2.1, you can frame this diagram again for unit 6.6 part 1. Here you are going to show evolutionism, and this is how you need to use this diagram so that you can create a difference. Here, instead of explaining these stages here in the plain manner, what you can do is you can just use 50% of the page space to frame this diagram. Framing of the diagram will take time, but imagine, in terms of marks, it's going to pay more and more edge to you. Hope you can understand. So this is what you need to do. Another thing, like here what you can do is, when you would be explaining about the like sequential manner, so you need to specify that there is transition. What you can show, you can show in terms of comparison. Comparison means like these are the basic thing that you would be showing. Another part you can do is in terms of comparison. Comparison means what? You can mention the stages here. Let us suppose savagery, barbarism, civilization. Here, in the savagery, people were wild, individual. Here, in the comparative picture, we would say wild individual people, they started forming group. When they started forming group, they have strong family system, lineage and clan. This is what you can do. Let me give you the basic view related to that as well. So it is the second example in terms of if you want to frame a small diagram. So here people are wild plus individual. Then they had shown the transition from wild individual to group. And here strong bond and family system. This is how we can frame. Another than this, like this is showing some sort of comparative picture. Now I would ask you, if there is any question related to the like if it's giving the reference of the unit 2.1, you can show this. But if it is asking you in terms of evolutionism, you should frame in this way only. Here you will be providing the comparative picture how unilinear transition is happening. Okay, so for like for example here, we would be showing like incestuous relationship. Here we started having marriages, and here we started having culture. Now here we are only specifying the marriages. Here culture, culture rules, culture trends in terms of lineage, clan, everything started getting sorted. For example, here we are having no god. Here we started having the totemism, and here we started having proper worship, either the nature worship or otherwise. So that's how, in terms of transition, this is what we can specify. Okay, I hope you can understand well. Fine. So these how you can specify in terms of the diagram. Yeah. If there is any question asking for unilinear evolution, so that's how you can specify. And it's giving the comparative picture. But let me tell you, if this is the diagram, it should be there. Like for each and every diagram, you are going to mention it should be framed within the 50% of the page space, so that you won't be wasting the page space. It should be framed only in the 30% of the page space, not more than that. And that's how you need to simplify. Hope you are getting my, like what I just want to specify. Let us suppose any question, 15 marker unilinear evolution. First page you will write. On the second page, 30% of the page space should be for this diagram, and then you can write. I mean, for every answer writing, you need to have everything should be cooked here in your mind, in your brain regarding all this. Fine? Done? Okay. Hope you got the clarity how to proceed, how to create the linkage. Now, try to understand. We are talking about the basic direction of evolution in terms of unilinear and sequential. We have specified the example, diagram. Now we need to specify the example. This example is about the Iroquois. So L.H. Morgan, he had specified in his book Ancient Society, where he given the reference of the sequential system. In the sequential system, he said that he placed the Iroquois in the barbarism stage. Iroquois is one of the tribe. And whereas he compared the Iroquois person with the Britannian person, why? Because according to him, Britannian they are civilized one. Why? Because they have written language, cities, industrial technology. So instead of only giving the simple example like tribal people, they are the primitive and we are the civilized, instead give this example. It will provide you full-fledged edge than the other your fellow mates. Fine. So here these are the Iroquois people. That's how these people they are living. So based upon this format, you can specify that these Iroquois people they were having their way of living. Still, their way of living is like they are having family system. They are not involving in the incestuous relation. Reason behind that is, let me give you the basic view. In the Pakistan, you must know that the population for the of the Pakistan it is declining. This is a basic estimation that among all those new child that are going to be get birth within next 5 to 10 years, 33% of those child they are going to have rare genetic disorder. And the reason behind that, we know that somehow because they are having either the parallel cousin marriages or the cross cousin marriages, and because their gene material is the same, that's why that could be one of the reason. Here also in the Iroquois, when they started having incestuous relationship, like let me give you the example of Cleopatra of Egypt. They were having same incestuous relationship. Let me give Varun had given the example that Sentinels can be placed in which stage. Sentinel Island, that is in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. These people they are living in a very close unit. We don't know even those people. Estimation, if I have to tell you, only around 54 people they are living. Why these people, sentinel people, they are dying? Because of the genetic disorder. And the reason only because those tribe, they are not connecting with the other person, and that's the only reason. They are like, they have only option is to engage into the incestuous relationship. That's causing some sort of genetic disease. So this is what that we are having in terms of this pattern only. Hope you can understand. Fine. Now, next part is related to the psychic unity of mankind. Psychic unity of mankind is talking about that it is a unilinear evolution. Means every single society is going through the same stages from savagery to barbarism and to civilization. In the same way, here also we can have the same. Like in terms of premises, but they are specifying that all the humans, they have the same mental capacity, they have similar inventions. And the example that we can take from the studies of Adolf Bastin and the E.B. Taylor. So E.B. Taylor, he had provided his book Primitive Culture, and Adolf Bastin, he had given his book Psychic Unity of Mankind. Why? Because he was talking about the 19th century, the Germany reference, where he specified that all those tribal people, all those communities, all those areas, the people, they were evolving at the same pace. Now, just understand this example. They had specified that the invention of the pottery in the Mesoamerica and in the China, these are two tangent. They are in the same period from 7000 to 6000 BC. Through this example, they are specifying that all the people, if they are evolving at one point of time, they were having the same psychic unity. That's why they are transition through the same line. Now, just understand. You were having the PYQ. 2002 Universal Culture Evolution. Because you know your PYQs, they have the requirement. That's why when we studied based upon this, we added upon this example. Now, if you have any question related to universal cultural evolution, you can directly start giving the reference of Adolf Bastin and his book Psychic Unity of Mankind, and then you can explain this example and can write about all those stages. It means material is going to be same. Culture evolution, it was unilinear. But because they are asking us that it was universal or not, for that you have to give reference. So what I just want to provide you from from today's class is you must be having the material, because material is static for anthropology. But what you need to do, you need to add on the examples, you need to add on the reference as per the demand of the question. This question, universal culture evolution, it is demanding that you specify that it was universal. For that, you can give the reference. After that, explanation is going to be same. You can define this. Hope you are getting my point. That's how you need to approach the PYQs. That's how you need to understand the demand of the question. So this is the thing that we can analyze from the PYQ only. I hope you get the clarity. Fine. Now you can give the reference of the Adolf Bastin as well as you can give the reference of the E.B. Taylor, and based upon that you can provide the basic part. Okay, so Varun is asking, okay, sentinel जो है उनको savage में डाल सकते हैं. वैसे हमें उनके बारे में पता भी नहीं है, but on that basis हम उनको savage में ही डालते हैं. Hope आपको insight मिल रहा होगा related to the part. Now try to understand. When you are having the opportunity to write mains, you need to do each and every part which is going to be experimental as well as which is going to be mark oriented. The only thing regarding the anthropology is if you are having a practical approach. Why? Because from the last 2 years, UPSC is asking application based questions. For example, they are asking domestication of the animals. For example, they are asking about the Y chromosome. So every single thing that's based upon the application. So for that, you need some reference. In plain terms, what you are writing, every single person would write savage, barber, and they would explain about all these simple points. So you need to provide some जायका. So वो कैसे provide कर सकते हो? Either with the help of the examples or through the diagrams. So this is what you need to do, and you need to incorporate these things. You need to internalize these things in your answer writing. Okay. Now, next part is in terms of culture survival. This is what we are talking about, the basic premise of the culture evolution. The element of the past culture, they persist even when they no longer serve their original function. For example, in today's time period, we are having so many different things. We are continuing having that phenomena because our ancestors they used to have. For example, wearing a wedding ring, it is considered as a symbol of binding. For example, there is a basic phenomena like we used to specify like this ring, this finger used to be specified. Ideally, you should wear your wedding ring in this finger. Fine. So if you will do this, for example, every single person they used to specify that you can like have like if you are having, for example, this phenomena, you can separate all your fingers, but you cannot separate this finger if you are having this finger. Like you can, if you will try, you can separate all these finger, but you cannot try, you cannot separate this finger. So why? Because we used to say that there is some sort of connection of heart with this finger, and that's why we used to put the wedding ring only in this finger. That's why it used to be specified. Now it is symbolic way. Okay, let me. Okay, so I was feeling some sort of embarrassment while explaining this, but quite possible it may be confusing. Let me specify. Usually, this finger being considered as the finger where you should wear your wedding ring. Why? Because we consider this finger is having some connection with the heart, and it's being specified that with the birth you are going to separate with your parents, with the birth you are going to separate with your siblings, with the birth you are going to separate with your children. So it is specifying your parents, it is specifying your siblings, it is specifying your children. This finger is specifying your husband or wife, means your spouse. It means you are not going to separate with your spouse at any point of stage or in your life. Fine. So that's why we consider this is having some heart based connection. And because it is having a heart based connection, therefore it is a symbol of binding. It is considered symbol of binding. While you are going to write in your exam, no. But you need to understand so that you will remember this example. Now, it is being specified that there are so many things in our life which is in terms of culture survival. For example, evil eye. We all believe in the evil eye. Still, we used to specify this is something that our ancestor used to have. And it's there now in terms of culture survival. Fine. Other than this, we have another part. Like, for example, if you are going for a good work and if any person sneeze, it's being considered as bringing bad luck for that particular work. Let us suppose you are going toward any work, and if any cat is going to pass through, it's also being considered that it's bringing the bad luck. Now, like we are advancing, but still we consider these things. These are there in terms of culture survival. So, the basic premise of evolutionism is saying this, that at one point of time, the way you were immersed in terms of culture, you were having the survival for those cultural instances. And, like, for example, during the Indus Valley civilization, you found some amulets. Now, also, people used to wear amulets at the time of the birth, when the lady is the pregnant, when the child is the small. So, in if you will go in the rural area in the Haryana, there are some tendency that people used to have these amulets. They used to tie the amulets in their around their neck, and it is bringing the good luck for them. So that's why these are in terms of culture survival. So we have understood these parts from this. Okay, I hope you can understand well. Fine. So this is something that we have in terms of the basic parts of the basic premises. Now we are done with the basic premises as well. Next part that we are left with is the approaches of the classical evolutionism. Fine. So we are going to take up that way. But first, let me give you the basic view about the approaches or the way that they had taken up. They had specified that there is some sort of primitive promiscuity, there is patriarchy, and there is matriarchy. Means, in some of the society, the evolution is based upon paternalism, and in some of the society, evolutionism is based upon maternalism. Whereas in some, it is based upon the kind of physical relationship that is there in terms of the sexual relationship or marriages. Like barbarism started having family system, but the marriages and the types of marriages it emerged during the civilization. Fine. So these are some of the things that we can have. Now now in terms of the approaches, if we have to specify, the one and the only approach that they took is specifying about the fossils. So the kind of approach we specified related to the evolutionism is specifying about the fossils. If you will specify the fossils, accordingly, you will get the idea about the way these people used to live. For example, if you can name some of the things that we traced from Indus Valley civilization, some artifacts, something that we traced from Indus Valley civilization, and in the online, dancing girl, okay, okay, seal, pottery, okay, 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 mm-hmm. Okay, 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 okay. थोड़ा सा अलग जोन में लेके जाऊंगी आपको. वी फाउंड लिपस्टिक, बैंगल्स, चेस बोर्ड, okay. Other than this, advertisement board, we found the dam as well, garlic, okay. And like we found so many things that is specifying their culture. Now based upon these fossils, we are specifying their culture. Like, for example, for Indus Valley civilization, we can specify that during the Indus Valley civilization, these people they were not having palaces. Can I say there was no temple? It means, based upon the fossils, when I specified the artifacts, remnants, something that I excavated and found during the excavation, I can specify their culture. So, one of the approach to understand the evolutionism, it was to find these types of things. Other than this, let me give you the example. Uh, in the paper 2, unit 1.2, we are going to study about Sivapithecus, Ramapithecus, Narmada man. We found the like skull structure that is even broken in the broken condition from the Narmada river, and we specified the person as a Narmada man. That fossil is giving us uh, some sort of details. Now let me give you the another example. In the South America, Like here, the South America. Here in this tip, there was one island by the name Easter Island. We know on this coast there are instances of La Nina and El Nino. Because of that, sometimes it feels like flood like situation, sometimes like drought like situation. So what happened, due to the flood like situation, Easter Island, they cut the communication with the mainland. Then after the when the communication was cut in between, then there was drought like situations. And because of that, all types of vegetation on the Easter Island, it drained, it got vanished. After that, what people they did, they started eating each other. When there was scarcity of food, so they started eating each other, because animals was not there to hunt, so therefore they started hunting each other. When we found this skull structure from there, we can found that there was some biting, like for example on the skull or on otherwise, they found some imprint of biting. And when we analyze, we found that these biting, they are not of any animal, it is basically human bite. Why? Because you can understand, like for example, how much. So if you can open this much only, like we have some basic we can say that some sort of shortcomings we have in terms of opening of our mouth. So that's what we can specify. So based upon the fossil study, so the basic approach that we took is the fossil study. For the fossil study itself, we took amic and ethic approach. Means first we are studying them inside, and then we are comparing them outside. So this is the basic approach for evolutionism. Okay, very good, Varun. So from this way you can understand this part. I hope you can understand. Fine. Okay, so once we are done with the approaches, after that we need to understand the unilinear evolution. Now, for the unilinear evolution itself, the basic structure for the answer is going to be same. Okay, why? Because it was sequential, and we have already explained about it here. Here, fine. Now what are the kind of thing we have to specify? I had given you name of some anthropologists. In this evolutionism, there are basically three anthropologists: E.B. Taylor, L.H. Morgan, James Fraser. Other than this, I had specified you the name of Adolph Bastin. Other than this, there is one more anthropologist by the name Ivan Spritzer. So Ivan Spritzer, he also studied about the Kungsan, if you remember, of the Kalahari Desert. I just want to give you the example again. These Ivan Spritzer, again here you can add on. Now I am referring another anthropologist as well, and his name is Thomas Hobbes. So Thomas Hobbes in the 17th century, he studied about the indigenous culture, and he specified that these culture, they are not having rules, and the absence of rules is being specified as that they are starting from the basic, they are starting from the scratch. Fine. So here also you can give. Now while creating your short notes, first page should be there to specify the index. Second page should be about the reference of anthropologist. So there you need to create one page. Here you are writing the anthropologist's name. Here you are writing the thing that he said, and here the reference. Like for example, you are going to mention Ivan Spritzer. He gave the reference about the Kungsan, and it is reference is related to unilinear evolution, so that you would be able to remember and you can mention in your answer. Try to understand. Once you have given your GS paper, your mind and your approach is going to be different. Within these 5 days, you have to revise your subject. And for the revision, you need to have something in front of you which is direct, which you need to just have one reading, so that things would be there and you can replicate. It should be in this format only. Okay? And I would make sure that all of the students who are connected with me, they are going to prepare the short notes. Okay, it's going to be somehow, like it's going to be somehow complicated for the very first time as you are doing, but later on you would be internalizing the thing. Okay, so this is the unilinear evolution that we have. Now what we can do is we need to understand the basic criticism. So for the criticism for unilinear evolution as well as the criticism for this is like, here I'm only providing you the short points. First thing is it is one sided. One sided, as well as we are having a partial analysis. Partial analysis, why? Because you consider all those people who are eating with hand, they are savage. Why? Because you are sitting on the table and chair, you are eating with the spoon. Let us suppose if you encounter any person sitting in the restaurant, not wearing the slipper, not sitting on the table or chair in an appropriate manner, and eating with the hand, you would consider that this person is uncivilized, yes or no? So, this is how we are specifying that all those who are anthropologists wearing suit and boot, you would this thing notice in every single picture. All these anthropologists, they must be wearing these clothes. You would say, मैम this is the one picture they have. तो जो हमारा भी पिक्चर होता है वो छोटे वाला जो पासपोर्ट साइज होता है, हम भी सुंदर बन ठन के उसमें बैठते हैं. But here try to understand, these are the people who are belonging to this civilized society. They are having a simple pattern. So if they are facing any sort of changes with the another civilization, they would consider them savage only. Why? Because Britishers, when India was their colony, so they specify Indians as dirty, Indians they are uncultured. So that's what you need to understand. That's why evolutionism and the three stages, they are one sided. They are having the partial analysis. Another thing is their methodology. Their methodology based upon which? Fossils. So the study of the fossils, the interpretation of the fossils is the only basis for you. So this is how you specified. Okay. Another thing is uh, they are specifying that it's somehow unilinear evolution, means evolution is going through single stage only. But it's not true for all. Why? Because in some of the areas we have encountered that these people, like they are having different things. Like for example, in the culture evolution, you have studied about the diffusionism. You have studied about the changes that are undergoing in some culture due to the borrowings. So, for example, all the cultures, they haven't changed themselves based upon the technology. They have borrowed something from the others as well. Fine, let me give the example. The printing press, it was being originated in the China, but later on it transferred from the printing press and the printing paper, later on transformed from the China to the other countries. That's what we can say, transition in terms of technology. Otherwise, in terms of language, in terms of communication, in terms of syllable of writing, so many, like we consider Sanskrit is the oldest language, but like we used to specify English is also originated from this language only, Sanskrit only. That's what you need to understand, that the person who first decipher about the Sanskrit language and the basic inscriptions related to the Sanskrit and the script of the Sanskrit, they are the one who did the full job. Now other person, they had borrowed the words. So this is what you need to understand, that unilinear evolution is somehow is not appropriate. We need to consider a base for the diffusion or for the borrowing as well. Another part in terms of this, that they are saying that there is a psychic unity of mankind. That's not true. Why? Let us suppose India. Just tell me the basic reference when India have the industrial revolution. During post independent, like it was not directed. Somehow we were part of only the raw material industry, raw material part. Fine. It means what? At one point of time, there was so much evolution in the Western societies, but that was not same in the Indian society. It means how you can specify psychic unity. Every single country, every single culture, they have changes, they have differences in their outlook, in their technological advancement, in their way of living the life, in their lifestyle. We cannot say every single invention is going through at the same time in all the countries, in all the culture. So here you can give the example of industrial revolution. This is what you can in terms of example. Another analysis that you can provide is armchair anthropologist. Armchair anthropologist means the anthropologists who are not going towards the field work, they are just taking the reference of all other previous studies. So we found that evolutionism is dependent upon the armchair anthropologist only. They were not going through the field, they are not studying about it, they are only specifying about their way. So that's what we are specifying about the armchair anthropologist. So this is what that we are specifying. I hope you can understand. Other than this, we can provide that this method is against the progressive method. Why? Progressive method is somehow is not going to end with the civilization. Now we are at the stage of civilization. Still, we are doing so much transitions. Like now, AI is taking part. AI is taking part of everything. So still, in the civilization stage also, progressive manner is not being reduced, it's being going on and on. So that's what you need to understand. Fine. So this is what you can specify related to the critical analysis. Okay. Now after that, what you need to do, you need to have this reference in terms of anthropologists, and this is the only thing you need to do. We had three anthropologists: Taylor, Morgan, Fraser. Have this comparative picture and just write down the basic things here. E.B. Taylor, time period 1832 to 1917, he said that all the evolution, everything it happens based upon the psychic unity of mankind. He said that there are cultural parallel, means all the culture they are going parallelly. That's what he said in the psychic unity. And he said that all the cultures they were similar at one point of time. He said that material culture they developed from Stone Age to the Bronze Age. This is what that we have also taken in terms of the tools. Although one example we had taken Kenya, although one with the new new tools, new technology that we have. Fine. Next part is he specified that there are three basic level of the society. What are those? Savagery society, then barbarous society, then civilized. But basic reference given by the LH Morgan only. Fine. Next part is he specified that there are, as we need to specify, there are two type of soul. One soul, that is the body soul, another soul, that is the free soul. He said that why he was talking about the soul part, because he just want to give the reference of religion. You must have heard so many Bollywood movies that that star is shining, this is our loved one who just left us, but here having the complete watch on us what we are doing. If we are doing right, they will bright more. If we will do wrong, then they are not going to bright, their complete light is going to vanish. This is what we used to specify. In the same way, he just want to connect the body soul and the free soul with that only. He said one body soul is there, the body soul is specifying that after the birth, the soul which will leave the body, and now body is going to be non-living, that is being specified as the body soul. Another part we have in terms of free soul. Free soul means something that is wandering here and there, that is having complete watch on us, and it will punish us if we will do something wrong. Let me give you basic reference. You must have heard the term of Pitru Devta. Pitra Devta is being specified as our ancestor who are there in the form of free soul and who are having a complete watch on what we are doing. Some person used to say that हमारे पितृ नाराज हो गए हैं. The reason behind that, they just want to specify that we are not doing something right that they expect us to do. Another thing is, if you are progressing more and more, if more and more people they know about you, about their lineage, Pitra Devta, they are going to be more happy. So that's what it is being specified in terms of free soul. And this is what in terms of E.B. Taylor and religion you need to give the reference. Another part is in terms of the L.H. Morgan. So L.H. Morgan, he had specified culture as well as civilization given the three stages: savagery, barbarism, civilization. Here in the savagery, he specified there are three stages. Again in the barbarism, three stages, and then about the civilization. In terms of evolution of marriage as well, he specified that there are basic different types of the families. In what he specified that the marriages they are being part of the, like what he had noticed, he went to the Irkoish, he studied there that these people they are having different types of marriages. He said that some have consanguineous marriages, means marriages within the bloodline. He said that there are different types of family system. So for example, he said that some basic families they are patriarchal family, some basic families they are matriarchal families, some families they are being specified as the consanguineous families, means families which includes the siblings. So this is what he talked about, he had explained about. In this format also he specified that there are some kinship based system as well. Evolution of kinship. So evolution of kinship include two parts: classificatory and descriptive. Classificatory, where all the relationship they are being classified into one single class. Descriptive also, there they have specified about, like each and every relationship they need to be specified with some specific name. So this is what they specified about the kinship. Fine. Now next and the last part is about the J.G. Fraser. So J.G. Fraser in his book 1854 to 1941 specified that there are for any society three part: magic, religion and science. This part, magic, religion and science, we had already explained in the unit 5 related to the reference of J.G. Fraser. So that's going to be related to the unit 5 only. Fine. So from today's class, my only objective is to give you the basic idea how you need to transform the anthropologist, your basic knowledge, your basic part as per the demand of the question. Now we will see again the PYQs and we'll try to understand, like we have taken something out of it, how we need to do it, indirect application, comparison, strong views for criticism. Here they ask critically evaluate classification of family. We would be explaining his way of family, but we'll add, like there are only 5 types of family. 15 marker question, 5 types of family. Would be able to explain? No. How we are going to explain this answer? Try to understand. We would be giving the basic reference of L.H. Morgan in terms of intro. Then we'll explain the concept as well as time when family emerge. When family emerge? During civilization or during barbarism? During barbarism, family emerge. But family in terms of strong marriage and stability, it came to the civilization. It means I can use the diagrams in a short form here. Yes, exactly. Yeah, unilineal evolutionism. Why? Because that's how we can specify that he connected the type of family with the evolution so that I can criticize him. Are you getting my point? Means If I'm not having that much content to show, I can frame it as per the demand of the question. Once I will analyze that that's how during this time family emerges, I will specify LH Morgan classification is based upon that time period only. And because it is based upon that time period only, that's why he was having some consanguineous families based upon siblings. And that's how it is specifying incestuous relationship. Fine. So this is how you can apply your knowledge for writing the answer. Okay. Next part. How did Morgan explain the evolution of marriage, family, and social political organization? Again, this question saying how. How means they are not demanding me to explain about evolution of marriage family. They want me to specify how it's being explained. How means through these three stages. Here you need to understand what is the demand of the question. They don't want you to explain the type, they want you to explain the way is through the three stages. Later on I can explain about this as well. Fine. So I hope you are getting the clarity how and in what way the PYQs providing you the insights. PYQs, they are the most essential things if you are preparing for your optional, because through that you will get the idea how to understand the demand. Like many of the students, they used to feel, ma'am, we had completed all the questions, we have written well, why we are not getting marks? It's only because you are not focusing upon the demand of the question. And demand should be understood in terms of a rational basis, in terms of examples and all. Fine. So on this note, today we are going to end our class. In the next class, we are going to have, like in today's class I had given you a very descriptive view, because this is the first thing where we need to link anthropological theory. This part is very important, that's why we had such type of link. But in the next class we are going to have a very brief view but with value addition regarding all this part. Okay. So next we are going to have the next class, and the timing would be intimated to you through that telegram channel only, that is specially for enrichment. There you will get the notification regarding the time when you will be having the next tomorrow only we are going to have the next class. If you have any sort of doubt, any question, any insecurity or something, you can share. Yes. This much time. No, this is how this unit is important one. This is why I told you. Otherwise, we are going to take up 5 unit in one lecture of 2.5 hours. Five parts. Before that as well, we have a full-fledged schedule. As per the schedule, we have already had 5 classes. You must have seen that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the duration for the classes is 2 hour, 2 hour 30 minute, and we have completed those all classes in that much time only. That's why I said that today I give you the brief a descriptive view, so that you will get the viewpoint, because this unit is important one. Now onward I'm not going to pay that much time, because it's not for the foundation, it's for those who are writing mains. This is what I said in the beginning itself, if you remember. Yeah, so that's what. Any another doubt or any another insecurity? Okay, short notes, that's going to be one to one. Okay, in the online, if you have any doubt, you can ask for. If not, then we are going to end the class now. No? Okay, then thank you so much. We are like, I'm going to intimate you the timing for the next class. Thank you.